Hello everyone, it's Professor Noor, and here today I'm gonna lecture you chapter number 4, creating reports and forms. So in this chapter number 4, we're gonna learn about how to create reports and then how to create forms. So the objective at the end of the chapter, you will be able to know about how to create reports forms using wizards, modifying the reports forms in a layout view, group and sort the data in a report, add totals and subtotals to the report, and then also you're going to know about how to use the conditionally format controls, how to resize columns, how to filter record in a report and forms, how to print reports and forms, how to apply themes, how to add field to a report or forms, how to add date, how to change the format of a control, how to move the control in your report or in your form. And then finally, you're going to learn about how to create and print mailing labels. So this will be the objective for chapter number 4. So one of the advantages to maintain the data in a database is the ability to present the data in an attractive report and forms that highlight the certain information, right? So reports represent data in an organized format that is usually printed. The data can come from one or more tables. So the report that you're going to be creating, it could be used from the tables that you have in your database. On the other hand, you usually view the forms on the screen, although you can print them. In addition to viewing the data, you can also use forms to update the data. You can also use the form to add records, delete records, or change records, right? So let's start now, and I'm using the previous database that I've been using, the Braid Loss Associate, for chapter number 1 and 2 and 3. So I'm still gonna be using the same database to discuss chapter number 4. So let me share my screen. So I opened the Breadlight Associate database. So the first thing that I'm going to teach you here is that how to group and sort report. How to group and sort in a report. So if you open this account financial report that we created in chapter number 3, now this report is one of them is that it's not been sorted and it's not been grouped, right? So if you go here in the view, the report has 4 views: report view, print preview, layout view, and design view, right? So in your book, they said, now we need to create a group by the account type. You see the account type here, all is mixed together. So we want to group all the SR in one location, then I will have the NON in one place, and then I will have the IND in one place. And instead of being mixed all together, right? So to do that, we will go to the layout view. Once you are in the layout view of your report, now if you look here in the ribbon under the tab design, so if you look in the top report layout tools, we have 4 tabs: design, arrange, format, and page setup. So in the design, you will see the group that says grouping and total. So I will click the group and sort. Once I clicked it, you will see that the add group and add sort buttons will be added in the bottom of the screen. So, and then it's going to have a title that says group, sort, and total, right? So in this case, I want to group by the account type. So I will go to add group, I will click it, and then I will choose the field that I want to group this record by. Account type, I will click on account type, and you see they are sorted by the account type. And then I want to sort also the records. So if you look here, the account number is not being sorted. So I will go to add sort, and I will say sort by account number. So now the record has been sorted. Once you have done that, now the next thing, what I want to do is that I will view my report, and your report will look like this. Very nice, and everything look perfect, you see. Now, if you go back here to layout view again, and then also you can shrink it. You can move the controls, you see. I can move the controls so I can get some space. Okay. If you want to increase a little bit, then this one, the account manager. So everything is set. Now the next thing I need to do is that also you have some option for the group and sort. Okay, so if you see here, it says more, and then I have all these options here. So it says value by which, by value, by entire value, and then if you click this option, then you have all these option here. So these are more option, more properties for your sort and group, right? Now the book says now the next is to add the total and subtotal. Now to do that, while you are still in the layout view of the report, now here I will tell you what the controls are. Now you hear me saying controls. So the various objects on a report are called controls, right? So Access has three types of controls: bound controls, unbound controls, and calculated controls. Bound controls are used to display data that comes from the database, such as the account number and the first name or the name of the account. They automatically come from the database. Whereas unbound control are not associated with the data from the database and are used to display such things as the report title, because you just created it, right? And then the third control is calculated control, are used to display the data that's calculated from other data such as the total. Now to add the total and subtotal. So I want you to click on account, paid, and then under the group that says grouping and total, I will click the total and I will click sum. If you look here now, the total is been the sum is been summed. The amount paid is been summed. So I will increase so you can see the total. Now the current due, I will click total sum. And now if you want to get the total amount, I will click the label and I will say give me the sum. So the sum has been added, right? Now if you want to add the dollar sign with it, you will go to the property, and then you see the format under the property sheet format. You will go here and then you can say I want currency. You got the currency, right? Now I will close the property sheet. Now that's how to do the total. So here we have, for the first group, I have the total of the amount paid for the first group. Then I have the second group here. Then I have the third group. And then if you look here, I have the grand total for all these, right? So the next now is how to remove the group, sort, and total pane. So how can I remove this? One way is just click on the group and sort. You see the group and sort is in a gray background color because that's what is active now. So if you don't want to see the pane in the bottom of the screen of your report, you can just click here to hide it. If you want it back, just click it again. If you want to hide it, you hide it. So the next thing we want to do to conditionally format the controls. So what is conditional formatting? Conditional formatting is a special formatting that is applied to the values that satisfy some criterion. You will set a criteria like, for example, you want to find out all those employees who makes more than 80,000 every year. So those with 80,000 plus, I want to make them highlighted in boldface and a different color so that I can indicate to my boss that these are all the employees who make more than 80,000 yearly, right? So conditional formatting is very important. We use that in Excel also. Now to do the conditional formatting, I need you to select for me the current due. You see the current due here, I selected, and then once I select the current, then I will go to format, the tab that says format. Then you will see the last group is control formatting. You will see conditional formatting. Click it. Then you will click on, because you wanna format rule for current due. That's your current field. So click on new rule, and then you have two rules. Check values in the current record or use an expression or compare to the other record. So you will use the first set of rule, and then it says field value is, from the drop down in the second box you will choose greater than equal to what? 3,000. If it's more than $3,000, then I wanna make it to boldface, and I wanna give it a dark red color, right? So once you set the criterion, now I will click OK, and then I will say OK. Now those who satisfy your criteria will be in boldface and is gonna be in a red color. As you see here in the IND group, I have 3,480, and then in the NON group I have 3,074 and 3,590, and then in the SER account type I have two of them, right? So that's how to apply the conditional formatting. Now the next thing I want to teach you is that how to filter records in a report. You sometimes might want to filter record in a report. Why do we need that? You might want to include in a report only those records that satisfy some criterion and be able to change the criterion easily, right? Now in this case, what I want to do is that I want you to click on the first record of your current due, and then do right click on it. Once you did right click on it, then you will see here I have number filter, equal, does not equal, less than, greater than, between, and then or you can use this equal to this, does not equal to this, or you can say equal, or you can also go down, and if you have anything with a zero like this one, right click, and then you will see equal to zero, does not equal to zero. So you can say does not equal to zero. Show me those records who are not does not equal to zero. So once you run, you will see everything but not current due zero, right? So you will do right click, and then you will say clear the filter from the current if you want to start again. So here I see everything, so I will do right click again, and then I will say show me all those, filter all those record which is less than 2,765. These are the ones less than equal 2,765. See? And then if you want to clear your filter, you will do right click, filter from the current due. I can see all the rest of the information. So that's how to filter record in a report. I will repeat again. You will go to that cell or that record. In this case, amount paid. You will do right click on the first record, and then here you will see equal, does not equal, or you can say filter the number equal, does not equal, less than equal, whatever you want. You can choose from those options. Now the next is to arrange and page setup. Now the next is to arrange using the page setup tab. So let's click on the page setup, and if you look in the page setup, I do have the size. You can change the size. Margin, you can set the margin, and also here I can change to landscape, right? So I said landscape. And then now the next thing here I want to do is that if you want to color this, so you will hold the shift key and you can click only the first one, and let's go to format, bold, all the three been bold. You can give it the color you want. See, now the next is creating a multi-table report. So in this one now they're gonna be involve two tables, and then I will create a report from two tables. So first I will close this one, save the changes. Now, why do we need to create a report that involves multiple tables? The bread loss needs a report that includes the account manager's first name, last name from the account manager table, and then in addition to that, they also want some information from the account table also. So when you wanna pick up two different kinds of information to create the report, then obviously we have to use the method which I'm gonna show you. So in this case, I will click the account manager, and then I can close the navigation pane. Okay. So you see the two less than arrows, the shutter bar open or close button. You can close it, and then you can click again to expand the pane, the navigation pane. So once I selected it, I will just close it, and then I will go to create. And then you see the group that says reports. Then you see report wizard. I will click it because I selected it, the account manager table, so that's why the first table will show up is the account manager. That's what you have selected. So in this case, I will need the account manager. I will need the first name, double click it, and then you can also do click select, and then you can use the greater sign. So once we select it from here, now I will go here and I will select from the drop down, I will choose the second table, which is the account. And then from the account table, I need the account number, account name, and I want the amount paid. And then I want the current due. So once we have all this, then I will hit next. Now here it says, how do you want to view your data? Okay, so what's going to happen, the top will be coming from the manager table, and then the below information will be coming from the account table. So next, do you want to add a grouping level? Remember, the grouping level is the one I showed you earlier, that you can go and click on group and sort. The same thing now, the wizard is asking you if you want to group these record by something, like, so for example, if you said I want to group like we did earlier, so you can group by the account. See, account manager number will be grouped all, so all the 31 will be in one place, then the 58, then so on. So if you don't want that, just you will click this, and we don't want it, so hit next. Now the next thing here in your book they said is that we need to sort. So we can go here and click on account number. We want to sort by the account number. and then hit next. Before you hit next, you need to go to the summary option. And if you remember in the previous exercise, I show you how to click on the account paid, and then you clicked on the total to give you the sum of all the amount paid. So here, while in the wizard, you can choose that now. Amount paid, I want the sum of all the amount paid. I want the current due, also the sum. Then I will click OK. Then I will click next. Then how will you like to lay out your report? The book wants us to stick with the stepped, but you can choose blocked, you can choose outline. So I will go back with the stepped, and the orientation will be landscape. Next. Then here we have to name our report. Accounts by account manager, and then I will hit finish. Now the report is been created, right? Now the next thing in your book, you can hit the print preview, okay? And then you can go to view, layout. So report has 4 views: report view, print preview, layout view, and design view. So if you go to the layout view, and then you can see your information like this, right? And then you can also change anything you want from here. So let's say if you said I want to change this, I want to say account manager number, and then you can move it a little bit down like this, and then you can shrink it down, move your arrow, see? Then you can increase a little bit more down, see? And then you can move this first and drag this last name, and then you can move. And then if you want to change this to say account, click inside and then type account number, and then if you want to move the account name, just drag it until you see the 4 black arrow in the middle of that label, and just drag it. And then here a little bit I moved it, and here you go. Then here it's cutting off, so you can stretch it. If you see the number sign, that means that the number is too big, so you can stretch it. You can stretch it. See, I stretched it, right? So that's how you're gonna modify. Now the next thing, I will teach you now how to create a report in a layout view. So I will go to design, I will close this, save the changes. Now we're gonna go to create. Now this time I'm gonna use the group that says report, blank report. Once you hit the blank report, you are in a new report but in a layout view, right? So in this case, you will see all your tables, show all tables, the field list. So you have to click show all tables. So first I will pick the account manager. From the account manager, I want the account manager. I will just drop it here. Then I want the first name, so select and drag it until you see the pink vertical line. Then release your finger. select the last name and just until you see the pink vertical line, and then you have to release your finger. Now I need the other information from the other two. So you, in the bottom of the field list, you will see account. You will click the plus sign and select the first one, account number. There you go. And then we need account name. And then I want the amount paid. And then I want the current due. Here you go, the report is created. And then we need to add the title for the report. So if you look in the under the design tab and the group that says headers and footer, you will see title, and then you can give it any title you want, right? And then after we have changed this, now you can also change the themes of your report. So the most important characteristic of a report or form is that it's present the desired data in a useful arrangement, right? So another important characteristics, however, is the general appearance of your form or your report. So you can change the colors, you can change the font in your report. So to do that, you see here under the design tab, the second group is themes. You can use any of the themes you want. Just click it if you want this, if you want the blue color one. Then if you go here, you can also change the colors. See, it changed it. And then you can change the font. If you say Carbel, it's gonna be Carbel. If you go back here and say I want Cassandra, that's the Cassandra, you see. And then I will close this, and then I will close this report. I will save it as report 1, and then I will click OK. Now the next thing in your book is the book says is that to create a summary report, right? So if you open the previous report that we just created it, this one here, and then go to the layout view, and in this case you see where it says grouping and total, you will click on hide detail. I don't want to see that, just I want to get the summary. So the summary is here, and then you can stretch it a little bit. So here said the summary for account manager 31 is this is the total amount paid, the current due is this, and then you have all the current dues, you see. So if you want to see the detail, then click on hide detail again to show you all the rest of the records. Then I will close it, save the changes. The next is to create the form creation. So to create the form, we're gonna use the form wizard to create the form, okay? Because we have to pick the information from 2 tables, right? So to do that, or we can use 1 table. So here I will select the account table, and then I will go to create. The 4th group under the create is forms, and then I will go to form wizard, and then because the table is already been selected, so now from the account table, these are all the available fields, and I want you to double click on the account number, account name, and then we want the account type. I want the service needed. I want you to give me amount paid, current due, total amount, and then I want the amount account manager number, and then hit next. Now here it says what layout will you like for your form, columnar, tabular, datasheet, or justify. So leave it as columnar. Next. Now here we have to name this as account financial form, and then hit finish. So the report is created. Now the question is that how can you manipulate the controls? Okay, how you gonna be using these controls? Now to place controls in a control layout, why do we need that? To use layout view with a form, the control must be placed in a control layout. Like if you go to file, view, and then layout view, like this one here. So they said to use the layout view, like now we are in a layout view with a form, the control must be placed in a control layout. So a control layout is a guide that aligns the controls to give the form or a report a uniform appearance. Access has two types of control layouts. One is the stacked layout. So I will show you. If you go to arrange and the first group that says stacked and tabular. So what is the stacked? So let me flash it to show you. So a stacked layout arranges the control vertically with the label to the left of the control and is commonly used in the form. So most of the time in the form we use the stacked. Now the tabular arranges the controls horizontally with the label across the top and typically used in the report. So the tabular is the one that we use for the report and the stack is mainly used for the form. Now to do that, you will have to hold the shift key and click one after the other the boxes. Once you have selected it, I will click on stacked. You see now, before they were so condensed to each other, so now I stacked. So once you did the stacked, the next thing now I want to do is that if you want to change this, you can just click inside and then you can say count number, and then this one count manager. Right? So the next, if you want to go to design and you want to change the theme, I change it to green, and then you want to change the font to simple office. That's what I did. Fine. So after that, now the next is to enhance the form by adding a date. We need to add the date. So to do that, why do we need to enhance by adding a date? To enhance the look or usability of the report or form, you can add special items such as logo or title. You can also add data or time. Okay. So to do that, you see that I'm in the design tab of the form. You will see the headers and footers, and then I have date and time. So we'll click it, and then here it gives you the different option. You want to include date and time. If you want to include the date, then what formation you want to use. You want Friday, June 12th, or you want just the month without the day name, or you want to include the time. So the book does not want us to include the time. So what's going to happen is that to remove the time, you have to click on the checkbox and then click OK. You will see that in the corner the date will be added. So now to move to boldface the control. These are your controls. So move your cursor until you see my cursor is in the middle of the date. I will hold the left key and I will drag it down. Look. Once I dragged it, I can shrink it down. I can go to format. I can hit boldface. I can give it the color I want. I can increase the size. You see. I can change the script. Arial black, so I need to increase the box. Okay. So that's how you're gonna change the format of a control. And also I show you how to move. So move your cursor, how to move the control. So you can move you in the middle of that control and then you can drag it. Now the next thing is that what if you wanna move the control in a layout view. So let's say in a layout control layout. So how to move the control in a control layout. So in a control layout, let's say that I want to move the account tab and the service needed below the account manager number. To do that, you will hold the shift key, select, and then select the service needed label and then the control. Once both of them is selected, then you have to move your cursor to any of the selected controls and you will hold the left key of your mouse until you see the 4 black arrow in the middle of that label or here. So just hold the left key and drag it down until you see the pink horizontal line which is below the account manager. Then release your left key of your mouse. So both of them is being moved. Now, what if you want to add a field that's not in your form, but now you said, I want to add that one. So to do that, I will go to design and then I will click on, look in the group that says tools. I will click on add existing. And in this case, I want to add the city. Select the city and drag it until you see the horizontal pink line indicate where you want to insert these city in below the account name. So once you get the location, just release your finger from the left key. So the city is there. Now to filter and sort using a form like we did the report, now you can also filter and sort using a form. So just as in a database, you often need to filter and sort data when using a form. So to do that, we're gonna go back to home, right? And then in the home tab, do you see the group that says sort and filter? And remember, I'm in a layout view of the form. And then I will go to advanced. You will click on advanced filter and sort. And then here it says account number, right? So we're gonna be changing it to account name. So click the down arrow and change it to account name. And I want the account name to be sorted ascending wise. And then the city, I don't want it to be sorted. But I want to filter all the cities that starts with a G. But I don't know what is after G. So I will go to the criteria row and below the city I will put G, and because I don't know what is after G, the city start with a G, but I don't know what's the remaining letters. I will put this the asterisk, the multiplication sign to represent the other letters. So once I did that, in the sort and filter, you will see the toggle filter to execute the filter now. So I will click it. It shows that I have one of 4 record that has what you asked for, G, but I don't know what is after G. Now, if you look down the navigation button, it says 104 in the bottom where my flashlight indicate. I will click on the play button. That's the second one. See the Glendin gel, and then next Granger. Next is Granger. So if you wanna remove the filter, so now it says filter. So if you wanna get rid of it, you can just hit the toggle. Then it says 1 of 15 now. It's not sort. If you want to sort it again, you see here it says unfiltered. You will click the unfilter button from the navigation button. Now it's going to be filtered. See, I have 1 of 4. If you want to unfilter it, 1 of 15. So the next thing is, now I will close this form. I will save the changes. The next and the last thing for chapter number 4 is mailing labels. Organization need to send all kind of correspondence to the customers, such as invoices, letters, reports, and surveys, right? To the accounts and the other business partner on a regular basis. Instead of writing manually, you can use the pre-printed mailing label. So using the pre-printed mailing label eliminate much of the manual labor involved in preparing the mailings. So instead of writing it manually, I will just create my mailing labels using Access, and then from there I will buy the mailing paper, the sticky paper from Office Depot, and then from there I will put in my printer, and then I will hit print, and it's gonna print all the labels. Now to do that, I will go to create. I will be sure that the account table is selected, and then go to, and the second last group is report. You will see report wizard. Click on it. Not report wizard, label, sorry, label. And then it's gonna ask you what kind of product number is it. So you have to check the paper, which one is it. So the one that the book uses C2163, and then the dimension is here, and then is gonna be number across will be 2. So it means that the paper that you bought has a 2 column. So the sticky is on 2 columns, so that you can peel those and put it on the envelope. But if you wanna have 3 or 4, then you can choose from here. And then the unit of measures will be English, and don't change any of these. Hit next. Now here Arial, if you want to change the font, is up to you. And then if you want to make it boldface or different, you want to make it thin, extra light, normal, medium, heavy, it's up to you. If you want to change the size of the mailing label, you can change it. So I left it as 8. And then if you want to leave it black, that's well and good. I changed it to blue color. Then hit next. Then here now you will add the account name. Then push the enter key from your keyboard. Then we need the street. Then you will press the enter key after the street. Then next will be the city, so you can either double click it, then comma, space, then you can double click the state, space, the postal code. Once you add this, then hit next. Now here it says you can sort your label by one or more field in your database. So I want to sort by the postal code. So I select the postal code, I edit, then next. I will leave it as label account, then hit finish. So the label has been created for you. And then what you need is just put the paper with the sticky in it, and then just print, and then peel it and put it on the paper, on the envelope. So now I will close it, and then I will close my label. Now, next day, next month, you want to print the same thing. If you open the label account, it's gonna show you like this. So what you need to do is go to the view and change it to print preview. You will see the two column that you created earlier, and then you will hit print. And then from there is gonna print it into two columns, your customers name with the address and then the city and the state and so on. And then close it and close your label account. So this ends our chapter number 4, and I hope you have learned a lot of things from this chapter number 4. And next I will create lecture for chapter number 5, and this video will be uploaded to the modules, and then you can look at it, you can view all the activities in chapter number 4. Have a nice day and be safe. Thank you so much. Bye.